All right, guys, Plexus with Purpose team, I'm so excited. We have very special guests, Susie and Chris McColl, and they are from Oklahoma, and they are awesome. Susie's diamond, Chris is emerald, and they are an amazing couple that totally, yes, puts God first and wants to just share Plexus with everybody who wants it. And so it is my absolute pleasure to introduce them. And first, I'm going to say a few words, though, about how I met Susie and Chris. I joined Plexus watching my friend Christine Weir, who's now Diamond. And she, I watched her for 10 months, but when I joined for the cheapest price, whatever, that weekend she said, "Are you busy this weekend?" And normally I have basketball and baseball all the time, games that I go to with my kids, and I'm busy every weekend. But that weekend I had nothing going on, so I went to Super Saturday, and she said, "You have to meet Susie and Chris." And so I introduced myself to them. I was a little bit nervous, but they were the most welcoming, sincere people that I had met in a long time. And I knew that when I talked to them that they cared about people and they shared this opportunity because it had blessed their lives and they wanted to bless others. And hang on. So anyway, they are just an incredible inspiration. I don't know how to make that stop. If you can mute yourself, that would be great. Hang on a sec. Okay, hold on. No. Okay. Mute it. We're off to a great start.
It's all right.
Okay, here we are. Because there's a little background noise. All right. So anyway, back to that. So without further ado, I just am going to introduce Susie and Chris, and they're going to share from their heart for our team. And I'm going to have them actually open us up in prayer.
Let's do that.
Yes.
Hey, thanks for the nice welcome. I want to know who the more genuine person was that you met a long time ago.
For sure, me.
Hey, let's open up with prayer real quick. Dear Lord, we just thank you for blessing us. Thank you for this opportunity to share with our team and just in general, just let people know that when we talk about this opportunity and about just this whole thing, Lord, we give you 100% of the credit for our success and want everyone to be able to experience the freedoms that it's given us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
What do you think of that? Was that a good prayer, Susie?
That was a really good prayer, Chris.
Thank you, Susie. Hey, thanks for having us on tonight. We're so excited to be here.
Yes,
you going to say something?
Yes, we are.
Well, I'm like, Susie's like sitting there. I'm like doing all the talking. Here's the thing. Whenever we do these, Susie will say to me, "You're hogging the whole thing."
This is true.
And so now I've stopped and I'm waiting for some like interaction. And there's like she's looking at me.
I'm used to him hogging.
Okay.
So I just was being quiet. Okay, so wait. So Rebecca, does everybody on here already know our story, or are there new people and we need to do a...
I think there are some new people on, so I would love you to give a little shortened thing of your story, first of all, definitely. That would be great.
Hey, now, here's the deal, Becca. You have to say, like, heavy on the short thing for Susie. Or it's going to be like 45 minutes from now, she's going to go, "And so then I quit Diet Dr. Pepper." And we're all going to go, "Yay, Susie!"
Hey, I believe that last night Chris was telling all the ambassadors out there how grateful he was that I could not quit
grateful,
my
Susie.
Diet Dr.
I'm
Pepper
so grateful. Okay, so here's the thing. Tell
All
them,
credit
Susie.
goes to me.
Yes. Oh, that's right. Hey, we had somebody this morning that we were doing we were kind of sharing like this with.
He has to bring this up.
We're about like 5 minutes in. We're kind of telling a little bit of our story, and Susie goes, "Well, wait a second,
No,
Chris."
Chris goes.
She goes, "Wait a second. We give all the Lord the credit." And I'm like, wow. I'm not taking any credit over here. But literally, she like just ripped the carpet out from under me.
I did.
And I'm laying there with people going, "Well, anywho, sorry about that. We do love the Lord, but okay, Susie, go ahead."
So, okay. You mean with this morning's story?
No,
or
just our story.
Okay, so for any new people on here, sorry about that. Almost 3 years ago, I'm gonna have to quit saying 2.5 years ago, because we're coming up middle of August will be 3 years. Crazy.
Yeah.
I decided to order this crazy little pink drink because one of my friends had quit their Dr. Pepper habit. I had been trying for 4 years, on and off, to try to quit Diet Dr. Pepper. I literally loved it. I was hooked.
We're talking IVs. You understand, right?
Well, I only drink 2 a day.
Okay.
But here's what's really funny, since Chris brought that up. He was the most unhealthy person alive.
Thank you.
And he relished in being unhealthy.
I did.
Because it bothered me. Because I was trying to be healthy. I was trying for our family to be healthy. I taught fitness classes. I tried to eat healthy. And he wanted me to fail in the healthy department because it made him feel better about his unhealthy ways.
There's some truth to this.
This is kind of like being on Dr. Phil for us right now.
It really is. This is therapy.
Yes. So anyways, I order this pink drink. And here's what's crazy, what you guys have to know. I would never spend this kind of money. Not that it was a lot of money, but just any money on something like this because we have 4 kids and things were expensive and I don't know. That wasn't a priority. But obviously I trusted the person that told me about it and I really wanted to quit Dr. Pepper and I thought, okay, I'll try this little pink drink. We'll see. I'm cheap. I always want the best price. I want a deal. And so I paid the $34.95. The crazy thing was that Chris says, okay, I'll try it. Sign me up, whatever. And I'm like, really? And I was so shocked. Of course, soon after that, he started making fun of me publicly on Facebook.
Yeah, us. Yeah, it was hilarious.
He was mocking me with the before and after picture an hour apart. We did not have the products yet. And it was pretty much all going to prove it wrong that the pink drink actually worked. And
so we both started experiencing crazy health stuff. Susie starts losing heel pain with plantar fasciitis. I started shedding weight.
My hormonal issues were better.
Literally a little better. She'd only beat me just a little bit, but it was better, right?
A lot.
So
still 3 years later, I'm 43 and my hormonal issues are better than before Plexus, which I find amazing.
It is amazing.
Yes.
And I'm still alive to prove that. So this is his testimony. My husband is alive.
That's right. That's right.
So, but literally my doctor's giving us rave reviews, giving me rave reviews on my lab work. I'm feeling fantastic. I'm exercising regularly because for the first time in my life, I had the energy and desire to do it.
This from the person that told me for years, Susie, I am not like you. I do not like to exercise. You will never see me exercising on purpose.
Correct. Right.
If you see me running, it's because something's chasing me.
That's right.
I can't even tell you how many arguments we had over him not exercising.
So, and part of our story that Susie, we didn't get into, we're going to give you kind of the Cliff Note version, but we had made a lot of money in the mortgage business. We opened up our own mortgage company about the time the industry crashed, and we crashed with it. And so
we held on too long.
Yep. And so we look at this time, and it was probably the best thing that ever happened to us.
For sure.
And a lot of people think that's crazy when we say that because they go, how could you ever want to experience the stress and really what it is it gives us such appreciation for the freedom that Plexus has given us that we would never have that appreciation or even be able to express it to other people that the same opportunity was for them if we had never been in their shoes. So
when we say we went broke, sometimes I don't think people really even know what we're talking about, but I'm talking about didn't know, our house was in foreclosure.
Repossession, cars waiting, chasing us around. I mean, it was bad.
It was a bad time. I had been a stay-at-home mom for forever at that point. And we had to figure out a way for me to make some money.
Yeah. And she wasn't a good dancer. And so I kept, I'm like, Susie, how are you going to make any money?
I'm not a good dancer, but that was not a career path.
Okay. But we would still be hungry.
Well, listen, nobody wanted to pay me any amount of money and that I could actually, I couldn't even afford. Rebecca has 4 kids, so she knows I couldn't even afford for the childcare for what people wanted to pay me. I know my work ethic and I know what I'm worth, but on paper, I didn't really look like it because I had been a stay-at-home mom, the most important job.
So fortunately, we fell back on my dancing skills.
Not true.
No, okay, so maybe that didn't happen either.
So,
but
to make it a long story short, we came through that time period.
We got into fishing business because we realized, or I did, I told Susie, I go, look, I don't care if we make a lot of money. I want a better quality of life. Right. So we had kind of leveled off from this happy place where we thought.
Developed a work ethic. Look, I was doing weird things like staining wood for my dad's company in the middle of a 100-degree day. I did anything that they wanted me to do.
To earn it. Yeah, that's true.
It was my dad.
It was to justify your right.
Right. I was willing to do anything because keeping a roof over your family's over your family kids' heads is important.
So when we got in the fishing business, Plexus, we never looked at a compensation plan. We didn't understand it. If you had told us it was a business, we would have ran because we didn't have time.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, people are asking us, well, Chris, what do you mean you lost weight? Chris, what do you mean you're sleeping great? How do I get some? And so
and I'm telling
everybody that would listen to us,
my anti-health husband is asking me at night for probios.
Yeah.
Y'all, for 6 months, we called ProBio 5
probios.
And we actually mocked other people when we'd hear them say.
They're calling it ProBio. What are they thinking, sillies? It's probio, right?
Yeah. But he's asking me, like, in bed, he'd be like, hand me a probio. And I was like,
who is this?
Who am I married to?
Yeah.
And I mean, it was just the best, craziest. I've never seen such a huge transition from somebody that hated health and didn't really have energy and zest for life to zest for life, energy, feeling good, wanting other people to experience the same thing. Chris.
Yeah.
And so here's what y'all have to know. I prayed for so many years for two things. One was for him to want to improve his health because that was important to me. I didn't want him to just improve his health and then go back to his other ways. I wanted him to want to be healthy because that was what I was craving. And then financial freedom. And all I meant by that was not having debt. And like we had 4 kids. 4 kids are expensive. College and cars and braces and insurance. It's daunting. And so I just assumed, honestly, that we would always have debt. We did the Dave Ramsey thing.
We just could not keep any money in the envelopes. You understand, right?
Breaking the glass frame with the hammer.
The emergency was groceries, Dave. So I know. See, we said short version.
I know. But I just
so watch what
where
happens.
We came from.
We get to as the fishing business is happening, we're still telling people about Plexus, even though we weren't treating it like a business.
Right.
We had gone Fast Start Gold without knowing what that meant.
If you don't know what Fast Start Gold is, find out from your sponsor.
Yes. And so we literally were just telling people with natural, genuine enthusiasm for what was happening to us. It wasn't let's go tell a bunch of people to join so we can make money. We didn't even know or understand how we made money. So when they sent us our first check, literally that was the moment when I look at Susie and I go, I cannot believe they have sent us this type of income. It was real money.
Wait, sidebar. I had told Chris, I think we're making money.
Yeah. And of course I'm going, nobody makes any money at those things. And so the first check, we could have paid our mortgage 4 times. Okay. Just to give you some idea of what that check was like.
Yeah.
We don't normally talk about the details, but I think it's important that you understand the earning potential that if you just tell people, it's really hard to explain to people when you have a genuine interest in helping people, it doesn't come across salesy.
No.
We don't tell people to join Plexus today because we want to make more money.
No.
We tell people to join Plexus because we want them to have the same freedom that we have and that we see people around us that are on our team doing the exact same thing.
And when he says freedom, it's not just financial freedom. I want you to know that. The products are literally changing people's lives on a daily basis.
It's unbelievable.
And the stories that we've now heard for almost 3 years, we can't not tell people without feeling bad. Like we should tell everybody because most likely whoever you're talking to and whoever they're friends with and family with have health issues that our products will dramatically improve their health.
Yep.
I just want to give y'all a little hint, like what our lives look like in the first, 6 months of Plexus. Because we went Emerald in 6 months. And I say we because Chris and I have done this whole thing together. We just didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah.
But it was in my name, so I got all the glory of the titles. But anyway.
I'm just riding your coattails. That's it. I'm just along for the ride.
It's all payback.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I was literally messaging all of these people that I knew, and I'm a people person. I love people. Like he said, I like talking to neighbors. Trust me, I would still be out there talking to them right now, whether they wanted to or not, except that I knew I had a Zoom.
Right.
So we would be best buddies right now. But I literally was messaging everybody that I knew, and I would send messages like this. Hey, I know you have rheumatoid arthritis. I think you need to try this pink drink. You will not believe the testimonies. And I would copy paste things that I would see other people talking about how it was helping them. PCOS. I knew people with PCOS. I knew people with fibromyalgia, lupus. And the more that I would read and the more excited I was getting over these products, the more I'd be like, oh my gosh, so-and-so has suffered from migraines for like 10 years. I'm sending her a message. It was never about making money. This was before I had any idea that I could make money in the early stages. it was all because I literally saw a healthy natural product that could help these people, and I was so excited. Now, I never hardly talked about the money-making potential at all for like the first 6 months, because I never wanted anybody to think that we were just, I was trying to push these products on because I was trying to make money. That was like really my worst nightmare to think of that. So I did reach out to some people, like single mom friends, after we got that first check. And I was like, hey, look, I think this could really, the products are amazing. I think you would benefit from this. You know, I know you struggle as a single mom. So I did a little bit of it, but I really didn't do a whole lot of it for about the first 6 months. Probably. Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to interrupt?
No, well, no.
Sorry.
I mean, she's totally hogging the whole thing. It's fine. Hey, thanks for joining us tonight, everybody. It was awesome. So here's great. This is awesome. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
One thing I want to say that I'm noticing that you're saying that I've not really heard this or tapped into this until tonight is that you, Susie, shared right away. You didn't wait, right? I mean,
right away. Right away.
Sharing on Facebook, started telling everybody you knew, was cold messaging, telling people, hey, look at this could do this. That is a really big thing I want you guys to get across, because so many times people will say, I want to wait till I have a testimony, or I want to wait till I have something to really share, or weight loss picture or whatever. So
right.
And on that, I think that's great.
And so like when Susie was talking about in the beginning, I would literally wake up at 3:00 in the morning and I would be messaging people about, but I was more open about the opportunity to earn income.
Yeah.
Although I was having incredible health results, Susie kind of focused on the health, but she would stay up. I literally would wake up at 3 and I'd get messages like this. I'm interested, but please stop messaging me at 3:00 in the morning. Okay. Because I knew like that was where I thought,
And I was up answering questions and messaging people until like 1 a.m. And I want y'all to know this because we worked our butts off, and we still work our butts off. Like we still, but when I say work our butts off, it's like because we want to. It's fun and we love it.
Yeah, and
it's
so,
not like I'm out stating
this is the kind of stuff. This is the type of stuff where I love to have this conversation with y'all, because you guys can see that we're not suggesting that it's necessarily easy.
Yeah.
But we're saying it's worth it. And so like not sharing like from day one is the number one regret when I asked Jules, if you could do something different, what would you do different? 99.9% of them say, I would have started sharing from day one.
Yeah.
I waited 90 days. I waited 45 days. I waited 6 months. And they were like all doing the same thing. Rather than sharing somebody else's testimony, they were just quietly sitting back. And then suddenly they'd kind of dip their big toe in and they wanted to see what everybody thought. The secret to this whole thing is going all in.
Yeah.
Being committed, being persistent. Susie and I have learned a lot about network marketing over the last 3 years. Prior to this, sucks for y'all, but we had no experience. We still don't know what we're doing, just so y'all know. Like we walk around here going, look, we know what the products do.
Yeah.
We know what the business opportunity can do. And what it takes, here's the deal. It works every single time if people work.
Right. Okay.
In other words, it takes effort. So, and I'm going to tell you, here's something I want you to understand. Susie and I probably had, I'd say about 300 or 400 Facebook friends.
And I had less than him.
Prior to Plexus. Okay. So even though we did share on Facebook, we didn't have some huge audience where we just went, everybody come do Plexus, right? It wasn't like that.
No.
So ours was done through personal invitations.
Yep.
And to this day, I think we've done a poor job explaining to our team and to everybody that personal invitations, I was telling Helen Fadden and Sonia Dudley this story about, like, here's how a Facebook post works. If you know anything about shotguns, it's like shooting a bunch of tiny little pellets up in the air and hoping one of those pellets hits your prospect and they go, oh, pink drink, I want some, and they message you, okay? The difference to a personal message, it's like looking through a scope with crosshairs, like Susie said, somebody who suffers from something that our products help with, or somebody that you know is struggling financially, and you sending that personal message is like aiming at a bullseye through the crosshairs from 2 feet away from the target. You're going to hit the target every time. They may not be receptive, but you still hit the target. Now, I'm not suggesting that you don't Facebook post. Right?
Oh yeah, no. Post.
This is do both.
Yeah,
but the personal invitation, and it's not a book. Like Susie.
I like to write books.
Susie would write you a novel. Dear Sadie Kirk,
and then I
was noticing up there in your neck of the woods.
One line.
Yeah, mine's like, you should do this, dude. Click, and I'd send them like a video, and that was it. And they'd come back going, really? This is going on with, plexus in the news? Yes.
You
come on in.
Talking.
You're hogging.
No, you're hogging. So,
I literally was just makeup hogging for the hogging that she had done earlier.
So when you're Facebook posting, and I just want y'all to know this too, back when we started Facebook posting, I can remember posting about plexus and like making Chris read it and make sure it sounded okay. We weren't getting 100 likes. Shoot, we weren't even getting 20 likes a lot of times. If we did get likes and comments, they weren't very many. But what people didn't know is I was getting messages. He was getting messages.
Mm-hmm.
Don't care about that. Like you have to just don't care about what other people think, because the lives that you can change with the products and with the opportunity, so let me go to the opportunity for a second. $200 to $500 extra per month can save the family from having to file bankruptcy.
Yep.
That's like a pretty easy amount to earn with Plexus pretty quickly.
Yep.
So I never, the biggest lesson I would say, and there's been a lot of lessons we've learned with Plexus, but the biggest lesson is to not care what others think, but to do what you know that God wants you to be doing. And that's the only person you should care about.
Yep.
Well, God and your spouse.
Yeah.
I think your spouse.
Yeah, that's a big part of it. No, and
because I think that's the biggest stumbling block for people. I'm not kidding you. I think people are so afraid of what
other people,
Tommy from high school is. If there's one negative little comment, oh yeah, this is witch doctoring or whatever.
Yeah.
And then
right. And then so like that response is the type of, here's what happens. The Jules with the company, they got the same responses.
Everybody
they just pushed through it and they pushed past it and realized it didn't matter. The people that lose this deal are the people that retreat when little Tommy or little Jenny from high school come running out going, sounds like a pyramid scheme. And you go, oh, I probably shouldn't bother my friends anymore with Plexus. And we're over here going, we get messages of people going, do you know that I was praying that the Lord would take my life 90 days ago? I was in so much pain from fibromyalgia, and these products have totally changed me. Now,
it's super non-compliant.
I'm about to say, we can't post that kind of stuff, right? But we know. And so like when Tom from high school came running out, and Susan and I look and we're like, well, we don't care.
Yeah.
We don't care what you think, and so but you did hog for a little while, so go ahead. I was about to say some good stuff.
Okay, let's save your stuff.
Okay.
So I have to tell you guys. So right now we hear a lot of, and this is more the direct sales part that we wouldn't know anything about. So we didn't know when we were doing this. We didn't know what we were doing. You should have a why. What's your why? Why are you doing Plexus? Well, we didn't have a why other than I was trying to quit Dr. Pepper. He wanted to get skinny, not healthy. During the first 6 months or so, we developed different whys, and our whys have changed throughout the time. But we did have strong whys because once we saw the first paycheck and knew what the products were doing, our why was, well, let's do more of this.
Yeah.
So we did have a strong why. The drawing your line in the sand, you'll hear people talk about, you got to draw your line in the sand. Well, nobody had ever told us that. But one day I got a message I was at the ballpark. We have 3 boys that play baseball. I'm at the ballpark. I get a message from one of my really good friends, Missy, and she tells me in this message how the month that she'd been doing Plexus, how it had changed her life. Yes, she had lost weight, but more than that, she realized that she had been in this depressed cloud and was not enjoying life. And she felt like a new person. And this, remember? I literally started crying at the ballpark reading this message. Okay, I'm telling you this for a reason. I walk into my office a few days later. I work for my dad and my brother. I walk into the office. My brother, who's already on the products and really loving them, and he's an ambassador because, of course, I told everybody to do what I did, pay the $34.95. So I walk into the office, and he says, oh, Suze, you're killing me. I'm going to probably have to hide you on Facebook. And I go, what? And he goes, this is my older brother. I just want y'all to know. And he goes, you're killing me with all these Plexus posts. Yeah. At that point, I had no idea that anybody might possibly get annoyed with me because you don't even understand how excited I was. I was so excited. I probably was posting Plexus like 6 times a day, all health testimonies. I was so like, everybody needs to take this stuff. So I like had this moment where I was like, wow. And then I go, this is what I said. I had that message from Missy right here. And I go, sorry, just hide me then, because I know what these products are doing for people. And I said it out loud to him, something along those lines. Okay. That was my drawing the line in the sand. I just didn't know what to call that. But that was my moment where I was like, you know what? I don't care if I bug people, because I know what these products are doing. I know how many people are messaging me behind the scenes because they are desperate to fix their health conditions, or desperate. At that point, I really didn't have anybody messaging me for the financial part because I was talking about it. But anyway, so that was my drawing the line in the sand. So they're kind of cliche. You hear people talk about get your why and draw your line in the sand, but it really is true. And your why might be, well, I just want to feel better. Or your why might be, hey, I don't want to work. I want to stay home with my kids. All of those whys are possible with this opportunity. And we know why. We can tell you because we have proof with all of the people on our team that are making it happen. Okay. That was a little hoggy.
No, totally. It was such good information.
Okay, good.
So the next thing I would tell you is this. This same opportunity exists for every single person that's on this Zoom call. I tell you this because our why now is helping other people achieve theirs in this whole thing. We want you to be successful. We want you to be happy. Notice that when you look at our mission statement for Blessed, it is literally our goal to inspire people to want to live a healthier, happier life of freedom. And so like when I tell you all that, you have to know as you're listening to this, sometimes our biggest fear is that don't grab a hold of the opportunity for yourself. It's like you're the greatest cheerleaders. You applaud everybody as they succeed, but then it's like you just kind of disconnect because you told yourself in your mind, well, that's for everybody else, but that's not for me. And I'm here to tell you, it's for you. And like we're doing this tonight for no other reason than we just hope and that we pray that you guys will grab a hold of this thing and run with it. At some point, you have to accept us for who we are, the people that are around you. We care so much about y'all, you don't even know. Like we pray every single day for you guys to have success with the product, success with the business, but it's not a personal, there's no self-serving motive by doing it. And I would suggest to you that if you start to adopt our philosophy when it comes to this, that you will start to thrive in areas, not just in Plexus, but in other areas. I would tell y'all that our greatest part of this entire thing has become the relationships. It literally is it's something we never expected. If you had told us, we wouldn't have believed you, but we want you guys so bad to experience. And when you see Rebecca, who says, hey, I met the McCalls at Super Saturday, what Rebecca has done is she believed enough to say, I'm going to do this thing. She's seeing a friend do it, so she's watching Christine do it. She's seen us do it. She sees other people in Plexus do it. It's not how many people you know, what's your situation at home. What it is sustained effort. It's work. It's commitment. But I'm telling you guys like this. I was doing a deal last night for the Man-Ambassadors, which was kind of funny, but I didn't, whatever. But I started thinking
you are a man-ambassador.
I am a man-ambassador. I'm an ambassador. But so here's the thing. If you said it would take 5 years, heck, 10 years to become a jewel with Plexus versus your current situation. You showed up to work. You worked as hard as you could. You worked on the weekends. You worked extra time. You did enough just to pay your bills and exist versus you busted your tail. You grew your team. You saw other people who saw the vision of what this was going to become. You lived a freedom from debt. You had financial margin, whatever that is for you. But that's what we're talking about. And that's why we want to encourage you to do it, because the same pink drink, the same compensation plan, the same products that come to our house and that we share about are the same exact things that you guys have. There's no difference. There's no place in this country, there's no place in this world that we found that when people fully understand what our products do, that they go, nah, I don't need that. The next 5 people that you talk to need this. They know somebody that needs the product. They know somebody or themselves needs the opportunity. But unless you talk about it, unless you invite them, they're just going to assume it's just another thing. Don't you agree?
Oh, I totally agree. I totally agree. Yeah. And like what Rebecca said earlier about messaging people and not waiting, I didn't have a testimony when I started messaging people. I literally was just reading things and so excited by what I was reading. I believed it. And I believed it because I was seeing, you know, he did have this quick thing happening. I got off. I haven't had a Diet Dr. Pepper since day 2. Hello. Right. That was huge. And so I was just messaging people going, hey, and I would say, I'm not sure that this would work for you, but I think it's worth a shot.
Yeah,
That's what I would say. Remember? Yeah. And for a lot of those people that did listen to me and join me and have now been ambassadors, several of them have now retired or about to retire, and they're either about to be jewels or they're jewels. Yeah. And they've stuck with it. And one of the things that Chris and I have really figured out, looking at our first convention, we just had convention. So if you went there, we just had convention. We went to the first convention not really knowing even what it was. And we didn't even think we needed to go, honestly. Yeah. But we went there and we had a small group of people there. By the next year, we had a much larger group of people. And by this year, we had so many jewels this year. It was the coolest thing ever. So and cool. I told Chris, like when we were coming home, I go, but the single thing that all of the people on our team that are jewels or even Senior Ruby about to be jewels had in common was they didn't quit. They never stopped sharing Plexus. Their belief never wavered in the products. Even going through back office apocalypse, we still kept going and we still kept telling people and we worked our way through problems. And but that's the big secret. Just don't quit.
Yeah, I mean, literally.
Keep telling people.
And I'll tell y'all right now that the biggest growth as a company will happen over the next 3 to 5 years. So whatever you think you've experienced, you've missed nothing. It just takes you to fully engage. I was sitting across the desk from Alec and Taro, and Alex says, you know, I'm not sure we're going to fit in this new building that we just cut the ribbon on, that's paid for, that's a completely debt-free building because of our growth is so great. And so like some of the guys that do Inc. Magazine and do some of the Morgan Stanley stuff, based on their projection, they haven't missed so far, they say that we will experience our biggest growth in the next 3 to 5 years. Here's how this is going to go down. 5 years from now, people will say, who do you buy your Plexus from? They won't say, what's Plexus? Right now, we have an advantage because we get what's Plexus? Or what is this stuff? I don't understand it. And so if you'll start to build your team, it just means that you're going to have more boots on the ground, as we call it, to be able to share this whole thing. But don't ever be mistaken. Plexus will be a billion with a B dollar company in the next few years. And it will be a household name. And the people that fully engage will change their lives financially forever. You can always make a paycheck with Plexus, but if you'll start to grow and build a team, you can become financially dependent. I mean, I would never have said that a year ago. I probably would have said it 6 months ago if I really didn't understand the full vision. But we shoulder this huge responsibility to pass the baton and say, you guys got to do this. Seize this opportunity. Do not stand on the sidelines and watch this parade go by because you're in the parade. We're not even suggesting that you join. You've already joined. You're in. We just want you to start to build your team. So I don't know. I feel like that is probably.
And if you're new and you're not quite understanding like the build the team thing, let's just say you just joined a few days ago. You're like, what are they talking about? Drawing the line and building a team. What is this all this crazy talk? Because that's what it would have been to us. But shortly after joining Plexus, and when I think it was after we had our first paycheck even, somebody or Chris said he looked at the compensation plan and he said, oh man, we are going to sell Plexus to everybody. Quit signing up people as ambassadors.
I did say this.
Quit signing up people as ambassadors because look at the amount of compensation you make for like preferred customers. And so I looked at it and I'm like, yeah, you're right. That's a good idea. But I'm not a salesperson. And I've said this a billion times. And sometimes people right now will say to me, I think you're a salesperson. And I'm like, oh, I'm really not. Right?
Oh, yeah.
So Chris has told me this. And right after this, a good friend of mine comes over and she wants to order. She wants to get off Dr. Pepper, whatever. So she wants to order. Well, I have Chris's preferred customer in the back of my head. And she says, well, how do I get it? And I said, just click join Plexus right here. Pay the $34.95.
Yeah.
You'll get the wholesale. And I literally could not tell her to do that because I know it was the best deal for her. So thank goodness, that I couldn't do that and didn't listen to Chris at that point.
And really, at some point, isn't that so funny that now when we look back, we know the difference?
Yeah, because on paper in the beginning, it is hard to understand. It looks like you're going to make more money with customers. And I'm telling you this on purpose. If you look at the big picture, look at the long-term picture, building a team is, Chris, how you create
wealth.
And customers, you will have income.
What did me again? Oh, I wanted to say it.
Okay,
you'll make income with customers, but you'll build wealth with a team of investors.
But we just didn't know that, and points made no sense to us because remember, we have no direct sales experience whatsoever, and they talked about points, and we're like, what does that understand? It wasn't really until we hit, I think, Ruby, that the points, we were like, oh, these points. You do make some money with these points, but we didn't understand. So I tell you that because y'all can be more strategic at this point than we were strategic. We weren't strategic. And another thing, a mistake that I am sure that I made, so I want to tell you guys.
Let's focus on this for a second. Go, Susie.
I just want to make sure that you're doing this, is I should have talked about the business opportunity. I wish that I had. I did not because I was so afraid people would think I was trying to sell them these products, and my passion is in the products. So many people need this opportunity financially. They are hurting. They can't go to sleep at night because they don't know how they're going to pay off debt or how they're going to pay their rent or mortgage, or they're just dying to be home with the baby they're about to have or whatever. Or losing jobs here in Oklahoma. The oil is bad. So I really think that it was a mistake not to share the business opportunity.
I do too.
And we, like Celeste Quinn, who's double diamond herself, she leads with the opportunity.
And always has.
She's not a health guru. I probably learned way more than I ever had to learn about all the products. But that's my love, and I love doing that anyways. But she just goes around and tells everybody, hey, you're going to do this because you're going to be able to create this income. Oh, and by the way, you're going to get healthier than you've ever. Her belief in the products is as strong as ours. She just leads with the business opportunity and tells them you're going to get healthy and love the product. And everybody falls in love with the products along the way. Okay.
That was awesome.
That was a little bit of it.
No, it was great.
I can chase rabbits.
She can chase a rabbit. So, hey, during the intermission, y'all go to the bathroom. When we come back, we're going to pick right now.
Okay, so Rebecca, do you have questions for us?
Rebecca, do you have questions?
I kind of have one thing I just want to kind of, an observation is that, I just remember Chris saying to me the day I met Chris, and that, this opportunity is bigger than you can ever imagine. And it's so true. I mean, you guys that are just joining or just getting started, it is bigger than you can ever imagine. And we are at the groundbreaking floor, whatever opportunity of a lifetime. Sounds cheesy until you're in it. And then you realize the impact that it can have on your family, because I was a stay-at-home mom that just wanted to continue staying home, and it's gone way beyond and beyond what I could have ever imagined. And I think the thing that has made you guys so successful is, number one, your belief and your passion to tell everybody you come across about this opportunity, and something that really that has inspired me and has led me as a leader, and I know I want to pass this on to everybody else on this call and on our team, is the way that you guys just give and the way that you love on people. You don't care what level we are. I mean, I'm your 7th level, but you still pour out to our team.
We got to get out of here. We thought we were making money.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the truth. Like, I try to emphasize that with our team, but I don't care what level you are. If you want this opportunity, I want to help you. And that's exactly the kind of leaders, you guys have passed that down to me. And I think that's how you grow. You help anybody that wants the help, and you share it with boldness.
Yep. So. That's it. Yeah. Hey, that's so awesome you said that. And, we would told you before, we jokingly said, well, we don't know what we're doing. Well, as this industry as a whole has trained most people, it's all about what's in it for me. I'm going to give you my time based upon how much money we make. The philosophy of what we do works. I mean, you can't argue with it. I mean, and so that means that we know that will be passed on to people that are on this call. They're going to be having that same conversation that says, Rebecca did a Zoom call for my team and I'm a level whatever. And I know that you'll do that. And there's other people, it's amazing to us watching people experience the self-growth that Susie has experienced heavily.
Chris didn't need any self-growth.
But you know what we're saying, right? I mean, we have changed. We have never this course of this thing, I've been shocked to see how the things that I used to think were so important in life are so insignificant. And so, like, we've experienced our own self-growth. Rebecca, are you kidding me? I've watched you grow and blossom into this leader and into somebody that has, like, went from who I would have considered to be shy and kind of an introvert to this person with confidence doing her thing. And there's people on this call right now that I know that are doing the same thing. Sadie, we saw you up there when we came to see you. I mean, it was so awesome. We probably should have handed the baton over to you more than we did, but we know and recognize that you guys have great leadership, and your team to be able to experience and sponge off of that, which is ultimately going to create more leaders. So
can I add on to that?
Yeah.
So our son, Tanner, is 21, and he is Ruby, about to go sing Ruby. And so let me just tell you this, how long do you think he's been an ambassador since he turned 18, or right as soon as we figured out what we were doing and got him signed up. But he didn't actually do anything with it for like a year, other than every once in a while he'd say, I sure would like a Lexus.
Yeah.
We're like, well, you could tell somebody about Lexus. But finally, he did get to a point where he hated his job, and so he did actually start doing what we told him to do and work the business. And now, watching the personal growth that kid has had, he literally was the most shy, introverted person alive. We don't even know how he's our kid.
If he talked, you'd all just go, "Why, he said something," and you would think that we would have these naturally just like loud.
Which we do have a couple of those too.
Carson is that way, but Tanner wasn't.
Yeah, Tanner has grown more in the last 6 months than more than a 4-year college career.
I promise you, watching him just
crazy.
Introduce himself to people, and he's like, I just see this like
and what
confidence.
He's learning it's so fun to watch as a parent, but it's fun for us to watch, like Chris said about Rebecca, and just watching our different team leaders. And here's something that you have to know also: always be open to learning, because we learn all the time. We learn from other people in the company. We learn from ambassadors in the company. I'm always open to learning and doing things and being open-minded about how we do things and becoming better at what we're doing. But with that being said, we don't ever want to lose who we are. And we always try to stay true to ourselves. And like for us, the what we thought of as multi-level marketing before, we would never have done it. And so we've tried to do what we do in Texas, how it would appeal to us. Yep. Because we know we would have ran for the hills from how most people do it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So stay true to who you are, but make sure you're growing as a person.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to ask one more question because I don't want to keep you guys on here all night, even though we could. One more thing I want you to touch on is, and this is like something that I had to grow through myself when we had the back office issues and shipping and all that stuff. Like I remember, I don't know if Susie remembers this, but I remember leaving a message to Susie and Christine, and it was like bad attitude I had. I mean, like really, really bad. And I don't think Susie even responded to me because she probably was like, that Rebecca. But I'm just being vulnerable and being honest with you guys that we all go through that, where we have a little pity party or a crappy attitude about when things aren't going exactly right. But I think I've overcome that, and I think I've grown a lot personal development through that situation. But I would love for you to share about having a good attitude, even though there are sometimes bumps in the road.
Yeah.
This is such a great question. There's always going to be bumps in the road. There's always going to be poop on the sidewalk that you have to go around. We had a call about that. There's always going to be waves in the ocean. You have to keep swimming. We've had different talks about this. Can you tell by my analogies? Mm-hmm. So you have to just know that it's going to happen. This is a business just like any other business. And so you have those where your customer texts you or messages you and they say, you said I was going to lose weight and I've gained 5 pounds. Well, okay, you have to be prepared to help them and answer that. You research. And let me tell you, the search thing on the top of the team pages is the best way you can find out answers ever, because I promise you the question has already been asked multiple times.
Yeah, and so like the other thing is this, your team is watching to see how you respond.
Oh, yes.
And so like if you are if you cry wolf like every single time something small happens, nobody listens, and all of a sudden you just become like this person, and then your team starts crying wolf, and then it just kind of trickles down. I promise you, I know people that were the biggest wolf screamers that never would say, well, I'm not a wolf screamer. I have all this belief. And I'm over here going, oh my gosh.
You sound like a wolf screamer.
Right. And so like telling you that like the team will respond how you respond. And so what Susie and I figured out was this. The company's here to stay. The magnitude of the impact that this company has had on people's lives is so much greater than a back office or than a shipping issue or a lost ambassador. One thing that we did figure out early on, and I want you to hear this, the company will always do the right thing.
Yeah.
Now, when I say this, it doesn't say the company won't ever make a mistake.
Oh, no.
But I'm saying in our experience in the time that we've started, not one penny was not paid. Not one order that got lost during the apocalypse did not get fulfilled. Matter of fact, I tell you, when we showed up and I see Tarl calling customers apologizing because he's so embarrassed, that's what we know. And so we're able to go to bed at night, hang our hat saying, we know there may be issues. We know there may have been issues, but the company's always going to do the right thing. And so we want you guys to have that belief. Here's the problem. You ready? If you have never experienced the good, and like, let's say you came on back in October, you have to lean on Rebecca's belief. You have to lean on Christine's belief, our belief, and we're not liars and we're not going to mislead you. So what you have to do is when something happens to somebody on your team, and it's going to happen, you have to step in and say, hey, I remember this kind of thing. I'm going to be your belief. I don't have it. And then they'll start to experience it for themselves and then they'll pass it on. Don't you agree?
Yeah. And you really have to learn not to panic over things. Ugh. This is such a huge thing. And we learned it during October. We did. We learned it during October. You cannot panic about every little thing. And John Addison, I believe, was the person that just said this, that when people would message him, and he was a speaker at our convention that we just had, people would message him, oh my gosh, you're not going to believe this, blah, blah, bad, crazy things or whatever. His first response is always like, okay, well, is somebody going to die? Yeah. Is somebody die? Is anybody dead? And they'd be like, well, no. And he'd be like, okay, well, this is not an emergency.
Yeah.
So you really do have to get this clear-headed, what's really an emergency and what's really not an emergency.
And as a leader, which if you have anybody on your team, you're a leader.
Yeah,
and
so you should have a person on your team.
Right. So I know, but I didn't want to drag that too far, Rebecca, but I think that is so huge for people's belief. I think they have to know the leadership are people of character, the executive team, everybody we've met. Literally, they are just amazing people and they're amazing leaders. And honestly, we're not having this conversation with y'all without them, because the company, I mean, at some point people would be like, oh, Susie likes to say, talking about the apocalypse of the back office change, if we were a candle company, nobody would care.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, I mean, my candles didn't show up. I quit. Okay.
Yeah.
Instead
we had people that literally, like, I would be crying because I'm like, I got to figure out a way to get them product because their health depends on these products.
Which is great to be a part of. Yeah. So
very needed and wanted products.
Yeah.
But you have to have, and then we'll end with this. You have to have belief in things. The products, which we have 1,000% belief in. The company and the executives, we have 1,000% belief in. And then this is the biggest one. You have to have belief in yourself. And if you don't believe in yourself that you can do this, you won't.
Yep.
So you have to, and this might be a journey for you. It might be a journey to finding out who you are and how strong you are, because I think that it has been for all of us. I don't think there's one person that's a Ruby, senior Ruby, up to Diamond that wouldn't say they've learned a lot about who they are as a person and what they're capable of and their strengths.
And hey, lastly, we'll end on this. I know.
And then lastly, I have something to say.
Here's what you have to know. Life will happen.
Oh, yeah.
Like watching Gloria and her family go through this tough time. We're out here in Oklahoma, and we have such like empathy and like we know, but watching her attitude and watching it from a distance, knowing she's sitting here on this call tonight, it shows
and Kristen's at camp.
And yay, right? But I tell y'all that because we know that life will happen and we understand priorities, but we want you to know also that you've surrounded yourself with a group of people that love and care, and they're going to pray for you. And there's this sense of community and culture that forget about Plexus. Like I said, we want you to be successful, happy in life. But anyways, I didn't mean to.
And people are so desperate and broken. We just didn't know. Like, people are broken financially, yes. They're broken in health for sure. but they're also broken spiritually, and they need encouraging, supportive people.
Yep.
And they find when they come to Plexus as a whole, but especially
blessed by Plexus.
our
Right.
team.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it's just true. We have been blessed with this amazing group of people.
Yep.
And every day, if you're on the team pages, you see people saying, hey, can you pray for this? Or, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I just got my first customer, and everybody's, right? It's awesome. You just don't find that very often. And so we feel incredibly grateful for that every day.
Yep.
Okay.
Hey, I know. We can talk. We just love you guys. We're so appreciative of y'all, and we love to share because we want you to grab a hold of this thing and go with it.
Yes, we do. And just the fact that you're on tonight is such a sign that you're invested and that this is for you. So that's congratulations.
And hey, here's the problem. We're not very techie, so the only way we know how to actually get off of these is to close.
Oh. Oh no. Hang on. I don't know what happened to them. I think they just hung up. That was so awesome. I'm going to end the recording. I'm so glad Susie and Chris could join us. They're so amazing. And you guys have a great night.